Hello, this is teacher Jonathan, and we are going to learn one grammar component today. Okay, all right, so let's get straight to it. Right, we're learning the present simple today, and this is one of the first things we usually look at when we learn English. All right. Of course, we have to look at the alphabet and things like that. So this is still for low beginners. So let's go to it. The present simple. What is this and how do we use it? Sorry. Let's move on. Okay, so the present simple, all right, is used to talk about routines and habits. Routines and habits. So what is a routine? Routine. A routine is something that you do every day. Okay, it's like a habit. All right. You can do it every day. You can do it twice a day. You do it once a week, twice a week, things like that. So, example here, I read a book every day. Okay, so this is a habit that someone has, or it is under their daily routine. That means this is something that they do on a daily basis. All right, for example, a very normal daily routine would be I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, right? I wash my face, things like that. And I go to school, I go to the college, all right? Another example here, number two, second one here is I go shopping once a week. Okay, so once a week is also a routine, a weekly routine or habit, you can say. All right, and another way of using the present simple is talking about things that are usually true, like the sun rises from the east, right? Yeah, I hope so. I think so. Doesn't change. Another one is my father works very hard. My father works very hard. This is something that is true, probably won't change. So we use the present simple. Now, present simple tense is the word tense, it comes from time. Okay, so in English, we will learn a lot of tenses. All right, past tense, present tense, there are a few. But present tense uh, is learned from the beginning. Okay, all right. Um, when we talk about these tenses for the present simple, we always have something that's called the positive, which is I read a book every day. And then going to the next part here, negative up here. Yeah, negative is no, not. So for example, under the routines and the habits, we earlier saw the sentence, I read a book every day. So now here you can say, using the negative, you can say, I don't read a book every day. I don't go shopping every day. So uh, what the word don't is actually a contraction. It's two words that you put together, right? So don't means do not. Not means no, negative. Okay, all right. So that's one. And then the second one is I don't go shopping once a week. Next one, and the next example that I would like to look at. Things that are generally true. The sun doesn't rise from the east. My father doesn't work very hard. So just now we looked, we looked at don't. So we use doesn't now. Now doesn't is usually used for the third person, which is he or she or it. Okay, so doesn't equals to does not. All right, doesn't equals to does not. The son doesn't, not do not, but does not. Okay, we will go through the differences in a short while. Okay, so moving on, we have the next part that I would like to show you. Okay, let's move on here. Routines, back to routines. Now we're looking at questions. So just now we looked at the positive, we looked at the negative, and now we have question. Okay, do you read a book every day? Do you go shopping once a week? When you are asking a question, and now this is called a yes no question. Okay, for yes no question, you use we call this an auxiliary verb. We say do, we use the word do. So when you say I read a book, positive, I don't read a book is the negative. Question is, do you read a book every day? Do you? Okay, and do you go shopping once a week? And if you want to say yes, if your answer is yes, then you say yes, I do. Um, some of my students sometimes say, "Do you read a book every day?" They say, "Yes, I read." It's okay, but the better word to be used is "Yes, I do." Okay, okay. Yes, I do means yes, I read a book every day. If your answer is no, negative, then you just say no, I don't. Do you go shopping once a week? No, no, I don't. So very simple. Okay. Next part here, I would like us to look at. Does the sun rise from the east? Does your father work very hard? Now, why does? Because now we're talking about the sun. The sun is referred to as it. Does your father? Your father is he. Your mother is she, right? So we will use does because it's the third person, as I mentioned earlier. So does the sun rise from the east? Yes, for sure. Yes, it what? It does. Does your father work very hard? You say, yes, he does. Okay. If you want to use a negative, then you say no. If you want, of course, for the sun, definitely yes, it does, right? But for maybe for the just for example, you can for negative you can say no, he doesn't. Doesn't. Okay, so you can use this. All right, so this is now the question. Let's move on. We'll just have a quick recap here. Now, present simple, just a quick recap of what we just looked at. I read a book every day. I don't read a book every day. So now we know, yeah? When you say I read a book, then the negative is I don't read a book every day. For question, you put the word do. Why do? Because you have you. All right. So you write the word you. If you're talking about the third person, then you've got to change it. For the word do, you can say do you. Do I, do they, do we. We, that means you and me. They is other people. You, I, we can use do. Do you, do I, you can use do. All right. But if you want to use for the next question, let me just give you the second example now from what we looked at earlier. This is the same thing here. I go shopping once a week. I don't go shopping once a week, as we've already seen. And then, do you go shopping? Do we? Do they? Do I? You can say that. All right. And then the next part, the sun rises from the east. The sun doesn't rise from the east. Does the sun rise from the east? So you can use does, because the sun, as I mentioned before, is it. So you say does it. If you want to talk about another example with he, with a male, you can say does he or does she. For example, does your friend like football? Does your mother cook very well? Does your father cook very well, for example? So you say, does she, does he? Then you can use this word, does. Okay? All right, are you guys okay? I think this is not too bad. Always when we looking at English lessons, right? You look at things like this, but you have to practice it. When you practice it, then you become awesome. You become really good at English. Not just English, anything that you do. The next part here, my father works very hard. My father doesn't work very hard. So that's the negative question, like what we did before. Does your father, does he work very hard? So it's very similar to the example before. All right. Okay, good. Question. Now I'll ask you a question. What is your daily routine or habit? That means tell me something that you do every day. What is your daily habit? Maybe you do it once a day, twice a day. Maybe in 1 week you do it 2 times, 3 times. So what is your daily habit or routine? And you can also talk about other people. What is your friend's daily routine? What is your brother's daily routine? What is your sister's daily routine or habit? Okay. So of course you can comment put it in the comments below. Okay. You can answer that question. If you have any other questions, you can ask in the comments below. Please do share this video with your friends. Let's learn English together. As I mentioned before, when you practice English, practice what we just learned today, then it sticks in your head. You become better and better. And just like with anything that you do, you need to practice. You want to be good at football, you play every day. You want to be good at cooking, you need to try. You need to cook something every day. Language, music, all these things, when you do it daily, you become better and better. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you soon in the next video.